Hi, everybody. Welcome to Summertime Melissa. I have on my summertime shirt. Okay, so today's exciting because I am going to do my first interview with one of my favorite people who has known me my whole life. We are going to talk about what it's like to be a mom and also try to be financially responsible while momming. I think that's what we're gonna start there. So anyway, I need to introduce you to Lisa J. Stocks.
Hello. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you? Can we tell the people how we know each other?
We are first cousins.
My whole life, everybody talks about your first best friend is your cousin. This is my first best friend.
Yes.
Aww. Okay.
The closest thing, I didn't grow up with siblings, so you and your brother were the closest things to siblings that I had, starting as a small child. Thankfully I did in later years have some more cousins.
Yes.
But you guys were the first cousins that I can remember that were, your brother born a little before me and you born a little after me. So right in there together. So
it's the best. We totally grew up together. We spent summers together. We would play at our grandma's house all summer long. Yeah, super fun things. I love it. I love it. Okay, so everybody, Lisa, tell the people about you.
About me.
Yes, tell them about the things that you do, that you're doing that are so exciting and amazing, and I'm so proud of you for.
Okay, so we are we are cousins and we are YouTubers. And back in December, I started my YouTube channel. And this is my YouTube channel name, Lisa J. Stocks. And what I've been sharing is my financial journey and just trying to show people that you can invest, you can do better with your savings, you can make a plan for your children and just things along those lines.
Yes, it's amazing. I wanted to interview you because you have inspired me to be better. I want you told me that it's not impossible to start investing and taking better care of my financial life. I feel like, oh, I can't do that. I only work part-time. Oh, I don't make lots and lots of money. And you have said to me over and over again that that is untrue, that I can do it. So the first thing you're going to tell me is if I want to start a savings account for my little, what is the best way to do that?
Okay, so savings account. I think first I want to touch on really building wealth. You have to invest. We do need savings. We do need, money that is accessible to us. But I don't want people to think that that is the way that you're going to build wealth, build generational wealth, because that is truly with investing. I am totally okay with savings. We have to have savings. We have to have an emergency fund, but investing is the priority for, to grow money in a different way than just putting it in a savings account. So for your daughter, I think we need to really evaluate how much is going to be savings and how much is going to be investing. How much we're investing for, 8, 9, 10 years down the road, and how much money do we want to have accessible? Because that's going to be the difference here in what we're going to choose to do. So maybe a much smaller amount in savings and a larger amount invested, because she's not going to she doesn't need an emergency fund. She has parents, she has grandparents that are going to cover her expenses. So
okay, so you said small amount. For like a small amount, what do you consider a small amount?
I mean, it depends on what it is. So like we're talking about a minor, so
yes,
maybe nothing, maybe all invested and really no savings.
Okay.
because like I said, you guys are covering her expenses now. It's not like she's about to buy a car or need prom dress or need funds for different things. You guys are paying for her extracurricular activities. And what does she need money for? What does she need liquid money for? Maybe we can just focus on, investing for her and not really saving.
She doesn't need liquid money to run around with right
Yeah,
now.
it's not like she's paying any huge expenses a monthly, she's not paying for her camp or she's not paying bills. She might go to the mall or a movie or someplace, and she might be at the point now where she can handle having a card out with her, buy a meal, ice cream or whatever, because we use our card for everything. We're swiping for everything, even a drink at the Dunkin' Donuts or the gas station. We're swiping.
Yes. She doesn't want, it's really funny you say that, because we asked her, would you rather walk around with cash, or would you rather us get a card for you that you can use when you're out with your friends? And she would rather have the cash. She said it's easier for her to manage. She is 10. And I get that. She doesn't want to have to do that math in her head. So that makes sense. But I think it's now time to kind of make her start focusing on that. I really like that you said focus on investing for her, because I think that freaks me out. But you're telling me, no, don't let it freak you out. Do the investing, grow the money. Don't just make it sit there. Like, why would it just sit there doing nothing when it can grow through investing, right?
Yes, we're trying to grow. We're trying to get 10, 11% return. We're not trying to get, the interest rates are up right now, but they may not stay this way. They've been going up month after month for the last 6 months, but it's because of the economy and the situation that we're in right now. So, we need to take advantage, and investing is different than savings. And I want to just make sure that that's clear to everyone, because I do talk about savings, but that's for what you need to have accessible to you. Okay. Don't have all your money sitting in savings for year after year, because that's not how it's going to grow. It needs to be invested.
Okay. All right. So if I'm ready to invest, what money do I start with? Do I start with money that I have sitting in savings, or do I start with money that is coming in that I could say every week I'm going to take some of my paycheck and I'm going to put that toward investing? Which way do you think is smarter?
I would say both. We can take some of the money out of savings, and then from there, like I started off with a bulk sum of money that I had sitting in her savings, some that I had gotten from stimulus, and what's been going on over the last 3 years. I started off with that, and then now monthly I have a recurring amount that I'm adding to it.
Okay. And when you say adding to it, you mean you have your investment account, and every month you're going to take a certain amount of money and you're going to go over to that investment account and you're going to make choices with that money. How does it work? I'm confused.
Okay. So I set up her account through Fidelity. I had a relationship with Fidelity. My 401k is currently with Fidelity. And, so I called up Fidelity one day, and that's where I wind up creating an UTMA account for her, which is a uniform transfers to minor account. Yeah. So that's the kind of account that I chose for her as a minor. And with that, like I said, I put in an initial lump sum, and I created a plan off of that, but I also set up a recurring monthly transfer that comes from my local bank over to Fidelity. And then from there, the balance will sit in her mutual funds, and I can go in and I can take the money from there and put it over to some investments that I've chosen for her, or it can sit there in her fund and be earning a higher rate than it would at the local bank.
Okay, this is exciting. It sounds so aggressive, but when you're explaining it to me, it's not aggressive. It's just making choices and making the money do things for you that it wouldn't otherwise be doing. I feel like this is where my brain is. I feel like my parents' generation and the way I was taught about money, it was just save and save and save and save. But the whole time it's funny, the whole time my parents are saving and building savings, they were also investing. But I love that you're basically saying, no, like talk about the money now, talk about it with your kid now, make sure they understand it starting from whatever young age so that as they're getting older, they understand it more.
Yes, yes. And maybe we can do that together a little bit over the summer and start to teach our girls some, financial literacy. I know they're little and they may not be really interested in it. And I mean, just a little bite size, 15 minutes.
Yes.
But we have to do this. They don't teach cursive. They don't teach anything about finance. I'm throwing the cursive in there.
Oh, it's true.
Something else that I'm going to be teaching. I want her to at least be able to sign her name. But the bigger picture of what we're discussing today is that I'm going to be teaching her little by little about, budget, investing, compound interest, and really, I'm not going to overwhelm her unless she's really, interested in coming back and forth with me. I'm not going to make her sit down for 2 hours with this, but she's going to have to sit down with me and have these little discussions and start to get a understanding.
No, I love this. And I feel like you're saying,
and my little cousin over there too. Cousin, I mean, our kids kind of call us auntie, but cousin, auntie, whatever. She can get in on it too.
And so can her mom.
Yes.
Because her mom needs remedial courses. No. I probably sound crazy, like I'm just lost in the sauce. And I do okay. My husband manages all of these things for our family, right? Which I'm so thankful for. But I want to know more. I want to learn more. So you are also going to teach me. That is cool. Even though we're saying move away from savings, there's something you talked about on your channel, which was Christmas Club. Now, I want you to explain Christmas Club and how it works these days. It might be the same. I just know my mom growing up had a Christmas Club, and it was like through her credit union, and I think they just took a certain amount out of every check. Is that how and then they save it in an account that in December she goes and she picks up her Christmas Club check?
Yes, yes. So that's how I was doing it all my life. Where especially once I started working, it would come right out of my paycheck and into my credit union. But I don't have that anymore. I don't have my credit union. The interest rate is 0.05.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've decided, and I've been doing this all my life. And you have to know what type of personality and what type of person you are. I know that I'm able to kind of police myself and keep up with, what I need to do. So the way you're saying it, that's the way I was doing it all along, where the money was automatically coming out of my check into my credit union. And I think for me, it was November 1st was when we got our Christmas Club check.
Okay.
And if you tapped into it, which I never did, which also shows me that, I'm mindful and I'm used to doing this. If you tapped into it early, you would get a penalty for taking the money out before November 1st.
Oh.
Because that's what it is. It's in. You're supposed to be using this money locked in for this reason. But right now I have an account, a regular high yield savings account that I just kind of have it named Christmas savings or Christmas Club savings. Okay. But I can tap into it at any time. It's not something locked in with a date. So if you need that, maybe you have to stick to having it at your credit union or something that's locked in as an actual Christmas Club. Only the money is only going to be released at that particular date. But that's not what I'm doing. I just have a high yield savings account, and I know that the money that I have recurring into that account is for Christmas, but it's not locked away from me. Right. I'm not touching it.
So. No. Okay. So I love that. There's options for both kind of people. There's if you're gonna, you might, not be able to stay, let it be alone, leave it alone. Or if you want to go use your credit union or whatever you use.
I'm not aware of any high yield savings account that kind of locks up your money for you and gives you a date of we're going to transfer this over to this account on this date. but my local credit union does. They have a vacation club and a Christmas club that's tied to a certain date that it moves into another account once you hit that date. But that's for, like I said,
you got to know what kind of person you are. I think what I've learned recently is that I am kind of like you. And if I know I have this account that there's a plan for it, I will leave it alone. Mm-hmm. As long as I know and tell myself that, I will leave it alone. I'm pretty okay with that. I think I have to be for, people like me we know we don't get income in the summertime. I have to plan for that. So I have an account for that for the summertime. Like, that's for the summer, leave it alone. But now what you're saying is I need another one for Christmas.
Well, I prefer to have separate accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, and name them, this one is vacation. This one is Christmas. Mm-hmm. This one is emergency. This one could be, if you're saving for your next car, you can, I name them, I rename them so I can see what I'm building towards.
Okay.
But some people, it depends on your personality and what you like to see visually. You can have all your money in one account, but I just choose not to.
Yeah. No, it all makes sense. I definitely am team several accounts because it just helps me keep everything organized. Okay. So I think the last thing I'm going to ask you about is what I've been watching all your videos on your channel. I'm trying to learn more. I'm learning a lot watching you, which is so fantastic. I told you this before. I'm so proud of what you're doing. I want to know what you're most proud of with your new channel and your, trying to help people build wealth. What are you most proud of that you either done for yourself or for some people who who are following you?
Well, I was never, let me first say, I was never one to use this phrase of generational wealth. My family was using this. We were around the kitchen table at one day, a few family members, and everyone else was using that phrase. And I was like, if you guys didn't notice, I don't use that phrase. I'm just trying to build wealth for myself in this lifetime right now. And I feel like I'm kind of proud that has shifted, that I feel like I've gotten myself into a better place and as well as my daughter. I've gotten to the place where I really feel like I'm pushing equally for both of us because of where I've gotten my financial situation and my mindset. And because of my experience over the last 3 years with investing on my own, when I went to create my daughter's portfolio, I was able to kind of not make the mistakes that I made in my own and build a better portfolio on her behalf.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm so proud that you're proud of yourself. And yes, we are absolutely going to build generational wealth. We have to do it. We're doing it right now, every day. Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, people. If you are not already subscribed to Lisa J Stocks, please do that right now. Go do it right now. And if you're not already subscribed to me, please do that right now too. Go find both of us and subscribe and like our video. And like all the other videos, you should just go sit and watch them because we're exciting and wonderful people. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on, Melissa.
Thank you for coming. We're going to do it more cousin chats for all the people.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.